When men have unleashed the unthinkable, and hell is upon the earth. In the post-apocalyptic world we now live in, it is not what it used to be. Today there's so much pain, heartache, and suffering. Let me tell you a story. It all began in the future, in the year 2041. There's this one man who is now called the Renegade. He is sitting back, thinking about all the signs that led up to this, taking events that has already happened, and reading about past posts that was dropped on a little unknown Facebook page. That page was instrumental in who he had become. He wishes he could have made many decisions that could have altered the timeline, and it could have saved many innocent lives that were lost so long ago. If only the world would have listened, our future might not have turned out like this. So say a prayer that we correct the timeline before it is too late.
Alright, as my old buddy would say as I come on every time, alright. I am the Renegade, or as I sign on the Facebook page, it's R, okay? Now, if you're not following me, please go to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/TRN247. That's short for the Renegade Network. TRN 24/7. Do a search. You'll see my logo. We own every major media source out there, from Instagram to YouTube to, of course I'm on YouTube, but everywhere else I'm out there. But tonight I have a little show that I'm going to pack up. Let me see what we got going on for the tonight show. As you probably read the title, let me get up over in here. Like I said, this is all live. This tonight's show. Okay, tonight's show will be, let me go back down here. Every time I switch scenes, sometimes this shit flips back and forth. I'm going to have to do some settings. But tonight, we're going to cover our Facebook post from December 3rd through the 8th, up until present time right now. And what I like to do is, I like to tell you why I post certain things. Some things are important. Some things are just try to break up from being so serious. I know a lot of you come here have found me when I was hitting a couple of groups, calling them out, just being an asshole, which I normally am anyway, but I just don't like to do the shows on where I'm calling people out, I'm hitting them, I'm setting plans in motion. No, I want to bring you what's irrelevant, what's important. I want you to know what also is coming. What big bad man out there is going to come and hurt you or yours. So basically, what I like to, like I said, I'm going to start with December 3rd post, and let me look down. It says a fireball that exploded in 2016 may have been a rare mini moon. Okay, now, when I seen that, you can scroll down, you can follow me. You don't have to follow me. I'm going to go ahead and throw up all the stuff up here on the screen anyway, so that you can see it. So you can just listen. You can follow, like I said, you can follow along here, and then maybe you would understand a little bit more of what's going on with my thinking and everything. But let me read this to you. And when I read that, if your first reaction is A fireball that exploded in 2016 may have been a rare mini-moon that orbited Earth. I said, the fuck? I mean, really, I was like, what is the hell? So then I read on to it some more, and it says, a space rock that streaked across the Australian sky in 2016 may have been more than your standard meteor. It may have been an extremely rare mini-moon, which was captured by the Earth's gravity and then orbited for some time before its fiery demise. Images of the August 22nd, 2016 fireball were captured by the Australian Desert Fireball Network, according to, some science alert networks, which cited the study published in Astronomical Journal. Astronomers studied the images and velocity data to determine that the rock had likely been in orbit before entering the atmosphere. It's called a temporary captured orbiter, but more casually a mini-moon. I mean, researchers reportedly determined the rock was traveling a relatively slow 6.8 miles per second. They believe there's a 95% chance that it was temporarily recaptured, okay? There have reportedly only been 2 known mini-moons around Earth prior to this one. An asteroid circled Earth between 2006 and 2007, and another was spotted in 2014. A computer simulation in 2012 reportedly determined that out of 10 million virtual asteroids, only 18,000 were captured in Earth's orbit. That's a 1 in 555 chance that they could be discovered while they're still in orbit. But it could be a boon for astronomers who want to study them, because it's easier and more cost-effective to send a spacecraft to the rock that's orbiting Earth than sending it way out in vast space. Okay, like I said, when I seen that damn picture, I mean, that I was like, what the hell? Please forgive me. I am sick here. This way I'm not an AI. I'm human. I'm fighting this nasty cold, this nasty flu, whatever going around, so you're going to hear me cough. You may even hear me sniffle, but let's just bear with me. At least I am out here with you, at least trying to bring you what's going on. So let's move on. Picture 2. Let's see what picture 2 brings us. I'm going to embrace this up some. Picture 2. All right, there we go. Picture 2. It's was posted December 3rd. It says, I am done with the conservatives and patriot groups. Let me read the post to you. It says, I am done with the conservative and patriot groups. So many fake-ass people out there. All they do is lick, kiss, and sniff that ass. This goes for the so-called Christians. We know Christians. Sometimes they try to live well, but then yet there's some of them that stab you in the back. That's not too Christianly-like, okay? Not brotherly-like. So I love to see from the fake people, the love. Let me recorrect that. Let me reread it that I posted. The love I see from the fake people is sickening. I mean, it is not love. And you may say you have the Lord in your heart, but you really don't, okay? I see most of them have like 2 or 3 lives. 1, the life you want others to see. The lives you want your close friends and family to see. The biggest one of them all is the true lives you really have. All the things you keep hidden from others. I see and watch them post something only to look cool or impress others out there. I call this the echo chamber effect. Here's the thing, if you truly had the Lord in your heart, you would not turn on your friends and so-called brothers and sisters. You would be walking in a different type of blood, not the blood from other Christians and patriots, but in the blood of Jesus Christ. I am done. Always have said, don't come at me trying to kiss my ass. I can see right through that bullshit. I am finished with people who are calling for some type of violence against someone or some group only because you do not agree with them. Remember, I am a watchman. I see and hear so much. I know who is who. This goes for the ones who thinks this is for them. I will say this, really search your heart, evaluate your life, find God, and let the true love flow inside you. Really walk a new path. Trust me, once you do, you will see so much drama and strife fade away. I say I am finished trying to help because Ephesians 6:16, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Just take that in for a minute, that one little verse, okay? Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right. Have you or someone you know, been affected in any attack on social media? Do you think spiritual warfare is not happening? I'm going to tell you, it sure is. What do you see going on in the world? A lot of chaos and strife and everything. Now, I do have the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, the boots of peace, the sword of the Spirit, and let's not forget the shield of faith. So from here on out, I will come for you. You know who and what type of people I'm referring to. Fake patriots, Christians, that scamming others out of hard-earned money. You know, to me, that's a very big no-no. Well, we all know what other things they are involved with. I have not created this page and this YouTube channel for me. I have done it for you, as I could be doing other things and then posting and going live. Okay, my time is valuable. I say family first, and I would love to spend more time with my family. I can't never get that time back that I already lost unless I was to step back in time somehow. With everything I have said in this one post, please search your heart. I know what the future is going to bring. We're sitting on a very important marker in our time. We must do something. We must stop and unite. We must correct our mistakes for our children and their children. God bless everyone. Arm. Now, I hope you took that in a little bit. All right? I hope you took that a little bit. Because everything is meant, it's from the heart. It's the truth. Now, after writing that article, I stepped outside. And boom, that's the picture that I saw. I snapped that picture because even though I may have been ill, I may have been upset, God still painted look at the sky that he painted with the paintbrush. That's all I'm going to say. There's hope still. There's beauty in everywhere that you look. So only don't let one little incident like the post that I just talked about run you all day long. Stop and smell the roses, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see what this next one is. Department of Defense. All right, now this one. Like I said, please forgive me. Like I said, I am fighting this damn nasty cold. All right, well, federal officials are considering requiring that all travelers, including American citizens, be photographed as they enter or leave the country as part of an identification system using facial recognition technology. Please, dead dog. It says federal, which I'm gonna tell you, they have been doing facial recognition for a long time. But let me read this on to you because now again, I don't like anything scripted, but I do have notes so I can refer back to. It says the federal officials are considering requiring that all travelers, including American citizens, be photographed as they enter or leave the country as part of an identification system using facial recognition technology. The Department of Homeland Security says it expects to publish a proposed rule next July. Officials did not respond to the request for more details. Critics have already been raising objections. Okay, Senator Edward Markey, a Democrat, Massachusetts, said he will introduce legislation to block the plan and prohibit U.S. citizens from being forced to provide facial recognition information. He said a recent data breach at Customs and Border Protection that Homeland Security can't be trusted with that information. Hold on, let me cough. There we go, I'm back. Sorry. And it says it can't be trusted with that information. Facial recognition is being tested by several airlines and at a number of U.S. airports. American citizens are allowed to opt out of being photographed, although a 2017 audit by a federal watchdog agency found that few U.S. travelers exercise that right, barely more than one per flight. Federal law requires Homeland Security to put in place a system to use biometrics to confirm the identity of international travelers. Government officials have made no secret of their desire to expand the use of biometrics. Now, folks, I have talked about biometrics. Remember me saying about down in the Middle East? You remember me saying the border? I'll go into that just as soon as I get through reading this, which they say could identify potential terrorists and prevent fraudulent use of travel documents. Okay. Homeland Security announced that the possibility of expanding I'm just making sure that everything looks good, that you can hear me. Expanding biometrics to U.S. citizens in recent brief filings, a spokesman for the U.S. Customs and Border Protection's part of Homeland Security said there will be a chance for the public to comment on any change in regulations. In November 2018 report, Homeland Security said facial recognition is the best biometric approach at its borders, because it can be done quickly and with a high degree of accuracy. The agency said privacy risks are mostly mitigated. Photos used to match Americans to their identities are deleted within 12 hours, according to the report. Jay Stanley, a policy analyst for the American Civil Liberties Union, said the government has told the public and Congress repeatedly that American citizens would be exempt from mandatory biometric screening. This notice suggests that the government is reneging on what it was already in significant progress, he said, including U.S. citizens should not have to submit to an invasive. I mean, I'm not even going to go through with all this here. Basically, I have told you back, I don't know how many live streams I've done before about when I was down on the border, how we used the biometrics to if we suspected that we may have a Middle Eastern, because I have also said that we took the data of any contact that we had. It may have been, we thought might have been a terrorist or working with something, and it went into the Department of Defense. Went into a database, so now it was here. I mean, I'm telling you. So yeah, this is just another form, and this was looking like 1984, the movie, the book. I don't know if you George Orwell. I don't know. But let's move on. I mean, we got to move on. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Let me see here. 5. Let me read that to you. It says, I don't think people realize how much strength it takes to pull your own self out of a dark place mentally. So you've done that. And today, or any day, I'm proud of you. Basically, what I'm saying there is we all go through some dark times. We all face paranoia sometimes. We face depression, anxiety. And I just put that out there for you to let you know you're not alone. And I'm proud of you, because if you've done it, you've accomplished something. Here we go. Here we go. North Korea will send a Christmas gift to U.S., the United States. But what that present contains depends on the outcome of ongoing talks between Washington and Pyongyang. North Korea will send a Christmas gift, and just like I said, the anonymous comments, which have been interpreted as a sign that North Korea could resume long-distance missile tests. See, here we go. We're coming back again. We've seen some launch today. Comes as the clock ticks closer to the country's self-imposed 1-year deadline for nuclear negotiations with the Trump administration. Talks between the two sides have appeared to be in a rut in recent months, with North Korea conducting several shorter long-range tests. Like I said, we just had one tonight or yesterday. In a statement translated in the state's news agency, Thai Song, a first vice minister at the North Korean Foreign Ministry working on U.S. affairs, accused U.S. policymakers of leveraging talks with Kim Jong-un for domestic political gain. The dialogue touted that the U.S. is in essence nothing but a foolish trick hatched to keep the Department DPK bound to dialogue as it is in favor of the political situation. I'm sorry, I got blinged. Rice said, basically what he is saying here is it's entirely up to the U.S. what Christmas gift it will select to get, okay? In 2017, North Korea referred to its first test launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile as a gift for the U.S. on the 4th of July holiday. That launch sparked what became a tense months-long standoff between the two sides. What happens in the coming weeks will likely determine if Washington's next so-called Christmas gift turns out to be similarly volatile. It is hard to predict because it could go either way, said Kim, senior advisor on Northeast Asia. It really depends on the circumstance of the situation, which will be better inform how North Korea reacts to an important meeting. Like on Wednesday, North Korea state-run Central News announced that will meet at the end of December in order to discuss and decide on crucial issues in line with needs of the development of the Korean Revolution and the changed situation at home and abroad. Whether North Korea leader Kim Jong-un plans to do respect to the negotiations, I'm not going to read all this. I'm not going to go through all this. Basically, what that says is he's pissed, and he would send a nuclear missile, or a good nuclear launch or something. Let me go to the next one. Let me pull up the next little article. Let me see what we got here. Let me go ahead and drop this on down just a second. Like I said, all this is live. Let me go ahead and drop this on down. If you could join me, I'll be in the Discord room after I'm done. Kim's back on a horse. Basically, North Korea's decision to hold the meetings was announced the same day as released dozens of photographs showing Kim on horseback mounting. Let me read all the photographs of blunt jokes. I'm not even going to read all this either. I don't even know why. There was some news. Basically, he's just trying to tout. It goes back to the kingdom, the first Korean kingdom, some 4,000 years ago. I mean, the birthplace. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get into all the history there. No. Picture 8. Let's just go ahead and move on along. I don't plan on this being a long show. Picture 8. I had a question. Question of the day. This goes to the Patriots. I asked the Patriot community, 3%, the Oath Keepers, the militias, even some Christian survival groups, what will you do if they impeach 41020? I mean, what will you really do? I'm not talking about bumping your gums like we know will happen. I see several lone wolves out there that say they will take up arms. I see others echoing the same. If you have that thought, let me ask you this. Who is the enemy, and how will you determine who's friend or foe? I bet you don't even have a clear ROE in place. And for you non-combatant or non-military personnel, it's rules of engagement. I ask this because I already know the answers to these questions. If you have nothing set up, this goes one, all right? This goes back, like I said, to these questions. One, you have nothing set up. 2, this goes back to 1, you're too busy bumping your gums because you have nothing set up. 1. 3, you're too lazy to get off your ass and train. 4, no order within ranks. 5, shall I go on? With all that said, what are you really going to do? Nothing, like usual. I mean, I wanted to know what you would do. I wanted to know the pulse there. And I haven't got a lot of feedback. And I tell you why, because out of 3 decades that I have given to the Patriot movement, out of seeing everything, you go to do some training, but yet, it turns out to be a meet and greet. Everybody sits around a campfire, bumps their damn gums, and nothing's accomplished. It's all good. It's all great for the camaraderie and hog jawing or whatever you want to call it. But look, I know what's going to happen. Let's go back to number 9 now. Next post was a little, there we go. It says, let me read the post. It says, 41020 is pissed at the NATO leaders talking about him behind his back. JT, that's Justin Trudeau, Boris Johnson, BT, Iran Emmanuel, and that's just a few. Okay, that they were caught on a hot mic and hot camera, laughing at Trump. I mean, because they're like, I don't know why he's always late. And one of them reaches up and says, well, if you take a 45-minute press conference, ha 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 ha, you're gonna be late. And the people they're talking about their A's and jaws dropping open, and I mean, you probably already seen it by now. I'm gonna come back to this post because, like I said, I'm following them in order as I dropped them. I'm not gonna group them all together. I'm dropping them. I'm covering them as I dropped them on the page. All right, now 10. Post 10. Shall we play a game? Let me move this on up. And it says, some might have a question as to why I would run a game or two on the Renegade Network, on YouTube channel or whatever. It's simple. That is a good question y'all have had. It's in order to meet certain channel requirements. Okay, for example, it's like a super chat. If it puts us in a different class, meaning I would not have to have 30,000 subs. I just have to have 1,000 otherwise, okay, for different things for a different channel. So basically what I'm trying to do is just push it out there, and I don't care what category it's in, as long as the information is getting out. If I can reach more people by unlocking some of these other things, so be it. I will put us in a gaming category. Doesn't mean I'm playing a damn game here. Doesn't mean you should be playing a game. Now, I will run some games, and that's because I want to keep it I want to keep it within that requirement. And I hope you understand. All right, and that's basically all it boils down to. It's why I would run a game. Let's see here. 11. On this one, let me get a drink because let me move my mic. Okay. Did you see the Google there? Please forgive me. I'm fighting this cold, this flu, everything else. But I know if I did not get this out, I'd be so backed up. Okay, and the post. This is holy reshuffled alphabet noodle soup. Dress the news up however you want. Google, it's huge news with major ramifications. See, I told you this was coming. I reviewed my past posts, folks. Google, CEO, founders Larry Page, Sergey Brin stepped down as executives of parent alphabet company. All right, let me read it to you. Google, co-founders Larry Page and I'm calling Brian, said Tuesday that they will step down from their roles at the tech firm's parent company Alphabet. Google CEO Sundar Pichai will retain his responsibilities as and also serve as Alphabet's CEO, replacing Page, and Byrne left his role as Alphabet president. With Alphabet now well established and Google and the other bets are operating effectively and independently companies, this is the natural time to simplify our management structure, Page and Bryan said in a letter explaining their decisions. It says, we've never been ones to hold onto management roles when we think there's better ways to run a company, and Alphabet and Google no longer need two CEOs and a president. Page and Bryan will serve on Alphabet's board of directors and remain active shareholders in the company. Two executives found in Google in 1998, they founded, have served in various roles at the company over the last decade. Page and Bryan are among the world's richest businessmen, with each possessing a net worth of more than $50 billion, according to Forbes. The duo created Alphabet in 2015 to separate Google's core business from their initiatives, such as the self-driving car unit Waymo. The reshuffling occurred as Google parent and other leading tech firms face multiple federal probes regarding their business practices and potential antitrust violations. President Trump has also accused Google of exhibiting political bias against conservative voices and charge the company has repeatedly denied. Meanwhile, the leadership at Google has faced scrutiny among mounting unrest among company employees. Workers have questioned Google's policies on workplace harassment and recently accused the firm of attempting to install surveillance software on their computers to combat labor-related gatherings. Like I said, dress it up how you want, way you want. But that's pretty good size. I told you I was going to come back to this post. And here it is. Let me see what it was said. On that day he called 1420, he said, I posted he will be leaving early. He called JT, Justin Terrell, two-faced, all right? Yes, he was mad. He was pissed. And we also know now that he left early. So that post right there proved that he left early. I mean, my information was correct. Now, this post, everybody knows that I'm a prepper. I believe in prepping. And we had two little baby goats born there. Of course, like I said, on my Facebook, I'm going from the bottom, going up to the current date. I didn't want to start at today's and go down. That's just not the way it goes. Next one. 14th through the 17th, the picture. I always believe in prepping. And I'm off. I ain't got no internet. There we go, we're back. Yeah, it's just flickering on me. Bear with my internet's fluctuating. What the hell? There we go, we're back. There we go, we're back up running again. No, back down. My internet is acting stupid right now. I got 0 bars. It's fluctuating. This is not. Let me look in here. Let me go to settings. Hold on. I guarantee you're not getting any. I know you're not getting any damn video. There we go. We probably got back again. But some reason my internet fell out. I apologize, but let me get back to where I was doing. I believe in prepping, folks. If you see up on the screen, you'll see how the crayon. There's just things that you just check out, look into it. Never hurts to always have that information. It don't cost nothing, but just a few minutes to look at some of this stuff here and do your own research, do your own stuff, and it might help you out in the long run. Next post. And it says, a Navy warship has seized a significant cache of suspected Iranian-guided missile parts headed towards rebels in Yemen. This is the start of more tensions in that area again. You know, it's been silent for a while. Yeah, I think it's the start to something bigger. I really do. I mean, it's the proxy wars. Do you remember the proxy wars like I told you that we would be fighting? We're supplying the rebels with this, and they're supplying the Yemen rebels with that to fight Saudi Arabia, which I find that interesting because on up here, we're going to find out about that TAC. Sorry. I had to take a sip of my drink. Oh, sore throat. Move it on down. 19. Oh, yeah, this one. If you're in Alabama, I want you to, let me see what it says. It says, let's keep an eye on Alabama a week before the week after. When was this supposed to be? December 11th. Okay. That's about like 3 days away. So we need to watch somewhere in Alabama for a casualty event, possibly. Every time I see a Human Domain Solutions LLC post, I watch them real close because here it's saying get paid $125 to show off your acting skills as a casualty role player, supporting the Alabama National Guard's upcoming training exercise on December 11th, 2019. Now, I don't know when a lot of these Christmas tree lighting ceremonies take place. I don't know if it's this weekend or next weekend. I don't know when they do the most of the tree lightings. But here's my thinking, okay? They already know. You already know. Here's the ad that's put out. Who's to say that they wouldn't stage a false flag at one of these events? Who's to say that? I'm not. I'm just saying, be watchful. If you had a gathering of any significant people or places between the week, anytime between now and the week after, the 18th, December 18th, I'd be real cautious, okay? Because if you notice, you think real back. Most of the time, a lot of active shooter incidences, they're usually doing training in a city or right down the road or somewhere around, and people are calling in. They're like, well, I thought it was part of the training that it was supposed to be going on or something, and that's why the response didn't get there because there was training or vice versa. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there to let you, if you live in Alabama, I'd be very careful. I'd be watchful on December 11th through the 18th. That's all I'm going to say. And on that note, what I want to do is I want to play this to you. Let me move it over. Transition it. There we go. Turn up the sound. There we go. Okay, there you go. Just on that note, always be armed, and don't be a stupid and hold your weapon right. That's all I want to say. Don't try to play around with firearms. People get shot. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead. Oh, now this one. Let's move on to 41020. Now, he was not directing this at us, okay? Before you think he is, let me clear something up for you. he said, let me go back, and it says, do not believe any article or story that you read or see that uses the anonymous source having to do with trade or any other subject. Only accept information that has actual living name on it. The fake news media makes up so many sources and stories. Do not believe them. All right. Well, he's basically. Let me see what the post. What I said. It said. So at times we must use anonymous sources. Due to national security, they could and will face charges for providing us with classified information. We support and back 1420. He's not directly talking to us or about us. He's referring to the Washington Post, CNN. You know the New York. You know the normal ones that he's ranting and raving about. December 6th Post. Let's see. Oops. There was a shooting. Of course, we all know about the shooting. Just received a full briefing on the tragic shooting at Naval Air Station Pensacola in Florida, and spoke to Governor. My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families during the difficult time. We are continuing to monitor the situation as the investigation is ongoing. Let me see what else we got. It says, King Salman of Saudi Arabia just called to express his sincere condolences and give his sympathies to the families and friends of the warriors who were killed and wounded in the attack that took place in Pensacola, Florida. The king said that Saudi people are greatly angered by the barbaric actions of the shooter, and this person is in no way, shape, or form represents the feelings of the Saudi people who love the American people. All right. Well, here's the facts. They taken in 6 of them because he was hosting a shooting party. I don't know if you know what that means. They were filming it and everything else and hosting a shooting party of the Americans. Now, from back in, I mean, we've had a lot of, because if somebody buys some equipment from the United States, like an airplane or a tank or whatever they buy, they have to receive training. So that's why the Saudis and that's why some of these other countries are over here training. And it's not because of that. There's a lot of rumors spread that sometimes. Yes, we got bad apples, but that's why he was over here. He's receiving training on some weapon. Now, what he done was just a classic. It was a terrorist attack. There's 6 of them involved. I mean, they haven't. I don't think they've charged anybody yet, but there's more charges coming. Mark my word. And here's the thing: in the gun-free zone laws, the only thing, it didn't stop the Saudi from going in and shooting them on that military installation. The only thing it prevented was the sailors and the airmen from defending themselves against somebody with a weapon. That's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, that's it. And next post. I told you this one was coming. I told you this was coming. I was just thinking about the video, but I want you to think back to the video. Let me cough just a second. I want you to think back about to the Mormon family that got ambushed, killed those kids, his wife, and one of them had to run 13 miles, 14 miles back. You remember that in Mexico? I know I covered it on here, and I told you what was coming. In his tweet, he said, all necessary work has been completed to declare Mexican cartels terrorist organization. Let me see. We are already, they're ready to do so. However, at the request of a man who I like and respect and have worked with so well as the president, let me see what else the next one says. It's hard for me to read it on this little screen. Will temporarily hold off. All right. But basically what he's saying, is I told you this was coming. I told you that they're supposed to declare war on these Mexican cartels because you don't want the Mormon church getting involved. Plus, we know about all the drug trafficking and everything else that goes with it. It's time to stop the borders. It's time to stop it. So this will be a better way if they do declare it and to put more troops on the border to cinch it up more, in my opinion. Let's see what 26 is. We're almost done, folks. We're almost done. I'm going to have to go on to log into Discord, but let me... Assessing North Korea's cyber evolution. As the internet quickly expanded across the globe and changed the nature of business and communications, Western nations capitalized on its capabilities. Authoritarian regimes felt threatened by the internet's potential for damage. The regime's power structure in the 90s, Kim Jong-il, father of current Republican leader Kim Jong-un, restricted internet access, usage, and technology in his country. Eventually, Kim Jong-il's attitude shifted after recognizing the potential benefits of the internet. The North likely received assistance from China and the Soviet Union to begin training a rudimentary cyber corps. Okay, during the 80s and 90s, cyber and still is it's a military slate of leadership. The expansion of North Korea's cyber program continued under Kim Jong-un's, who today seeks to project military might by displays of capable nuclear program. But Kim Jong-un, who possesses a degree in computer science, also understood the potential for cultivating cyber power for the North Korea. Cyber is just not an asymmetrical medium of warfare, but also a method of surveillance, intelligence gathering, and circumventing sanctions. Within the last decade, North Korea has demonstrated an impressive understanding and applications of offense cyber competence. Several experts reports they estimate North Korea's cyber forces range from anywhere from 1,800 up to 6,000 professionals. Internet access is reportedly rerouted and through China, which leads an added difficulty to. It provides a measure of defense. North Korea is largely disconnected from the rest of the world and maintains a rudimentary internet infrastructure. The disconnect between the state and the internet leaves a significantly small and less vulnerable attack surface for other nations to exploit. Little information is available regarding the internal structure of North Korea's cyber force. What is thought to be known suggests an organizational hatchery that operates with some anonymity to achieve designated mission priorities. Bureau 121, number 91 office, and Lab 110 report to North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau. Each reportedly operate internally and externally from Pyongyang. The Bureau 121's main activities include intelligence gathering and coordinating offense cyber opportunities. Basically, it helps with the malware and data mining. Also, money. I don't know how much if you know how much money that they can cipher from a little bit here, a little bit there. That's how they get currency, too. Let me look here. This one. If you look on the Post, if you look closely, I seen this and I wanted to put it out because I read it over. Anybody could post to Craigslist and stuff like that. But yes, it looks legitimate. But in my opinion, I don't think it is legitimate. Why? Because I do not see a date. So they left out the date. It said be there tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Who knows when this is printed? Let me cough again just a second. I am glad you bear with me on my cold and everything else. But yeah, again, I don't think this is a legitimate. Uh, I really don't. I just think this is a scare tactic. I mean, yes, it's possible, it's probable. It's like the one I covered in Alabama. Now, I looked into that one. That has got all the signs of a legit one. But anybody can post to the Craigslist and to all these other groups. So, and I didn't see a date. They would not have left out some dates of training and all that. I don't know. I'm just going to call that one bullshit. So if you see it, overlook it. Here we go. Like I said, I got about 2 more stories to cover, and that's going to be about it. About 2 more stories. And here's my 2 cents. Okay? The party crasher. We all know that Washington is full of insiders who are tethered together through a common link. I have people who once worked in Washington swamp for over 35 years. They told me that everyone in Washington is either related by bloodline or marriage, or went to college together, worked for the same company, or lived in the same neighborhood. Washington is one big happy family, and they don't like anyone coming in to interfere with the way their design system runs. In fact, they work feverishly to make sure that outsiders are kept at bay, and those who could disrupt their system are either quickly removed or made into such an idiot that no one pays them attention or cares what they say or do. It's no secret that the Democrats desire total control of government and the money that comes in. For most of our government's history, Democrats pretty well have had the run of the yard. When we look back at the intermittent Republican-held branches, Democrats spent much of their time, effort, in undermining the Republican agenda and those who impose a more conservative idea into the mix. Government and those within, for over a century, have pretty much been on the progressive side and imposed their progressive left-wing decree that has removed the nation's founding ideas and principles, certainly in the individual liberties to make themselves the overseers of our lives from cradle to grave. You have to understand that the government has spent over 100 years removing itself from being of, by, and for the people to make themselves a syndicated cabal of by for themselves. Okay. They live very uniquely from the rest of the nation. They have their own set of rules, their own laws, and their own ways of thinking and believing. They feel that since they were chosen, they are above everyone else because they are our lawmakers. They feel they are our gods. They are deep, dark secrets that resides within the walls of the government. They deal in trillions of dollars annually. They deal in converted attacks and covert responses. They listen in on whoever they wish and spy up on anyone they want to for an answer they seek. They pass along information that are for eyes only, that guarded our dirty secrets as well as their own dirty secrets. There are divisions within the government, some call the black government, that deals with these questionable things. We watch on TV like DARPA, Project, Area 51, reverse alien technology, false flag events, overt assassination, covert espionage, high intel kidnapping, secret below underground bunkers, and blueprints of war. Excuse me. There are various levels of security in our government. They are in a need-to-know basis classification. You only need to know what you need to know. Like, Post is supposed to have the highest security level within the government. Of course he carries the bomb and World War III around with him everywhere he goes. POTUS is supposed to be privy to everything that goes on in this country, but there are events that do occur behind POTUS's back that some do not want him to know about, like those things that are in the previous paragraphs that I've read. Uh, they're so-called top secret that if anyone outside the know should learn, they would have to be killed. We all know about Clinton's side. Few POTUS ever had that undisclosed level of security clearance. Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Carter, and G.H.W. Bush. The rest were on a need-to-know. Both Carter and Clinton tried to look into Roswell. UFOs in Area 51, aliens under Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, secret laser guns, stealth projects. Okay, they were stonewalled, and we're told there's nothing to see, sir. Kennedy tried to find the secrets, so did Reagan. GW probably already knew them, but if and what these secrets do hold, these in DC's cabal certainly do not want Trump to know any of it. When the period of transition was taking place in December 2016, those in the Obama administrations and those with high levels of security clearance purposely refrained from giving Trump information or purposely gave him false information. Washington did not want Trump to know crap about what was happening and what they were doing because they knew Trump couldn't hold their deep, dark secrets to himself. They believed Trump is a loose cannon that would expose their secrets, which would close their doors while casting light upon their shadow government. Black Ops. They all believe his stay in the White House will be short-lived. Little do they know Trump would outsmart them all. We all know this dark side of our government exists because in one time they do eventually reveal their secrets. Only if they want us to know. Take the stealth fighter and bomber. That's a hot or the hot laser gun that has revolutionized weaponry. They keep under their wraps for years, even though they were leaked to the public but denied their existence. There are classified projects today that we don't even know about, which can change the planet or change mankind permanently. We are closer to the science fiction movies of the 70s and 80s than ever before. And AI may become the Trojan horse that we all have feared that could terminate much of what we have today. The technology exists today and beyond comprehension for most. Look at the advancement in medicine, weaponry, communications, travel in the last 20 years compared to the past 200 years. And as a dying major, these people knew they would crap on themselves. We can only speculate, but it could be awesome if as scary, okay? And that is what President Trump wants to know. Which is it? Honestly, I could have been told that President Trump has been digging where they don't want to see disturbances. It has been rumored that Trump has been sniffing around places that are off limits and are very fearful that he might discover their secrets. If you want a good reason to remove a POTUS from office, then there's a beauty of reasons for those who exist in the classified underworld. I understand that the need to deeply guard black projects as the Russian, Chinese, and others would love to get their hands upon the technology and capability first. It would become a game changer if they did. But to exclude the president is very puzzling. In fact, it is scary upon itself. What, then, are they hiding? Is this exchange of knowledge so privileged that these people are going to try to impeach Trump to make sure he never learns of it? Donald Trump wears that he is an outsider on his sleeve. It is no secret that he feels the government must be transparent for it to operate for the people effectively. It is also no secret he plans to change the way Washington has been run for many generations, and that both parties must work together to solve the nation's problem. But those on the left, which include many of the majority of the DNC, do not want the change in Washington, but they see the power, structure, and control of the government to govern the people in a tyrannical form. No one in their right mind can see America and its greatest under Obama, Pelosi, and Reid. Yet, tell us that America today is worse off under Trump and make America. To deny Trumpism works. It means that the expectation for American greatness is lost to socialism, communism. Okay, that the general public into obsession. Obama had us all headed down at that path. Our economy, our relative, we tanked. We headed for the cliff. But our younger society said, okay, we give away the bank to compensate everyone we didn't work. Let the corporate America slip away. Let anyone come to America, no matter who they were. Let criminals go free. Let nations take advantage of us. Let drug addiction become a pandemic. That's just the brainwashed liberals. That's the way the young generation wants to be. But a couple of eager generations stood fast and rallied behind a true hope and change. They were wise enough to see the fog and hype and delusion of over 63 million in the central parts of America, and that was enough of the coats, and they weren't going to take it lying down. 1420 was the only candidate who beat Hillary and could take America back, integrity, and restore her greatness while not bowing to the lobbyists, corporates, political elites, globalists, masters, or whatever. Okay, the left is not only is lost to an outsider. They are outraged that an outsider is reversing Obama. It's so quickly, okay, Obamanism, it's like the Trumpism, so quickly that it's also restoring which they removed from America for decades and spent trillions of dollars in destroying the nation to its core. The left is frantic, okay? They are losing their power and control, and watching this stage is being set for generations of a more conservative nation to be under the people's control as the founders and framers, okay, the swamp, the deep state could feel the wind of the Trump, okay? Basically, what I'm trying to say here is they know Trump's outside. They've tried to impeach him with trying to find dirt on him. For the last 3 years, they've been digging on him with Mueller, with everything. Remember, tomorrow, FISA's coming out. FISA is coming out. Let me go back to FISA. Let me go ahead and run on through these 29 and 30 pictures, these posts. It says, the Democrats are now admitting that they can't provide a crime. They can't provide a law that was violated. And here's why. Any president, any administration is justified investigating corruption. And there was a serious evidence of real corruption concerning Hunter Biden. Okay, and the board of the largest natural gas company in Ukraine, getting paid $83,000 a month, 10 times as much as a board member of ExxonMobil. Thank you, Ted. He also has made a fortune and other, but zero before his father became president, vice president. Remember, FISA is going to come out tomorrow. Let me go ahead and drop this post down, this link, so you can join me in Discord. Please do. Let me go ahead and set this up. There's the link for Discord. You can come in and join me. I'm glad to have you here. Let me go back on over here and let me go to my settings. Voice and audio. Push to talk. There we go. We should be good to go now. I should be on voice. You should be able to hear me talking just fine. So don't be scared. Come on in. Let me find out where. Yeah, don't be scared. Let's discuss all these stories. Oh, there you are, Christian. Yes, there was. Okay, I just now realized Christian's in the room. Thank you, Christian, for joining me. I've been running about an hour now, and I covered our post from December 3rd up to present. Remember, the FISA is going to be dropping tomorrow. Trump said this is going to be the biggest story. Um, but no, here's the thing. The media's going to sweep it under the rug. If once everything, I hope everything's exposed. I hope everything comes out on FISA. But there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be disappointed. But they need to break down. If they want to go ahead and go through impeachment, let it all come out. Let everything come out and let everything laid on the table. I know the 4D chess. I know everything that's being played right now. But if they're going to go through that, lay it out for the American people in front of the American people. Let us be the judge. Because once the American people finds out they weaponized our intelligence agency, which we all suspected in our mind some time back ago. We have always thought they could be watching us or surveilling, whatever. Let it come out. And you will see George Orwell, 1984. We're crossing that threshold again. Oh, I missed a post.
I'm here.
All right, just a second. I missed a post. Oh well. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think's going on? I don't know how far you got in the show or whatever. I don't know when you came in.
I saw you covering everything that was posted, what was posted on your Facebook.
Oh, so you've been here a while. All right, thank you. Like I said, thank you for dealing with me with this cold, man. I have this flu. It's been awful.
Oh yeah, the flu can get you bad. You taking vitamin C?
Yeah, I'm taking a whole regimen of stuff, and I got these Patriot nurses on here. They've been sending me different stuff, and I'm taking C and zinc and some other stuff.
Yes, both vitamin C. You can take higher doses of vitamin C. Will help.
I didn't know if you was working tonight or what. I mean, I didn't know. Normally you do.
Well, I am working. I'm just getting ready for work. I'll be working at 10 tonight.
Oh, okay. So, did you, like I said, you came in when I first started covering maybe, the Post, or how long, I mean, I was just curious.
Well, I don't know. I saw the parts in there on Facebook, and I already read up on it too, so I'm up on it.
Okay, yeah, I like to cover the Post because, that gives, people to, come in and talk about it. I mean, like I said, you need to get ready for it. Go ahead and get ready for it, buddy. I'm not I wouldn't plan on being on this long, to be honest with you.
But yeah, I work tonight till 6 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Good luck. Go ahead and jump off here. Go get you some rest, and we can discuss this on your day off. It doesn't matter, but go take care of that because you got a long shift ahead of you.
Yeah, I know. I'll jump on real quick.
Yeah, my internet's been acting a little funny right now. I haven't checked to see if there's any CMEs coming in. I just uh, been busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, I think one's supposed to come in. I don't know when.
Yeah, there was a pyramid-shaped size asteroid that's supposed to be passing by tonight, I'm pretty sure. So if we get reports of fireballs or whatever, that's probably what it's dragging in or stuff like that. So next time if you see it in the news, oh, there's a fireball captured, it's probably from that. Because, it tows in pieces as it comes by, too.
Yeah, it does. You'll see something in the sky, I'm sure.
Yeah. Man, this cold has got me. I'm gonna have to get off here, okay? I'm feeling really like bad, and at least everybody knows I'm not an AI. I'm human.
No, I know that.
Oh, did you see the post that I dropped down about the do you remember that in our Discord chat about I told you what was happening and it was thwarted and then you seen what the news put out tonight? What'd you think about that?
Yeah, that was interesting. So that you did have some intel on that. That was.
Yeah, and like I said, I might have show a game on here every once in a while. I don't have time for games, but in order to keep our YouTube, we fall on a different classification, and we don't have to have so many subs to do a lot of other things. So that's why I will run a game here or something. But in life, what I do, I don't have time for a game.
Nah,
Oh, I think it's his internet that's cutting in and out.
my internet's bad.
Yeah, I think it was cutting in and out. Your audio was coming in and out there for a second, but you sounding good now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, for some reason California has been stuff's been happening. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, hey, the next time that a CME's coming in, I'm going to see if they cut power again, just out of coincidence. This would be the fourth time. If it happens, then we know for sure that they're protecting the grid over there in California.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, because partly it's because a lot of lines are overhead. That's.
But California, it's not affecting the other parts. It's just only affecting California. Is their infrastructure that bad?
Oh yeah, those power poles there have been there since ever since I can remember. When I was a kid, they've been there.
Wow, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's time for them to upgrade it. Oh, man.
Oh yeah, because in February I'll be 53. So yep, it's pretty damn.
At least 40 years old. I thought there's a standard of change them every 20 years. I thought 25 years. I don't know, but I think there's a standard out there.
I think they were supposed to do it, but then they had this power issue where they tried to deregulate, and the power system here is screwed up, so they never upgraded.
Oh, well. But yeah, let me jump off this, and we can talk after I get off live, all right? But let me go ahead and close this show out, if you don't mind.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, let me go ahead and close this show out. This cold has done taken a toll on me, folks. It really has, and it's beating me up. It's kicking my butt. This cold, this flu, everything else. But basically, what I want to say to you tonight is remember your 4 B's. Your beans, your Bibles, your bullets, and your bandages. Your beans, you're going to need it for nourishment. Your bullets, you're going to need to defend your family. Your bandages, we hope you don't need them to bandage up you or yours. And your Bible, you're going to need your Bible to pray. You're going to need it for strength. In times of darkness, you're going to need that light. Also, don't get yourself caught in that. Create your own jail cell in your head. Excuse me. Break free of that self-created jail cell. And remember, no one can cage you. No one can trap you. You're free. Remember, they can't cage us all.
Let that click roll.
You can't cage us. You can't cage us. No, no. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal. No, you better back down or break through these walls. You better move like my name was Biggie Smalls. Pennsylvania, take you straight to Albania. Yeah, I'm gonna rage. You better watch it, cause I'm breaking out this cage. Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal.
No, propped on the block where the pigs eat slop. Straight off the floor of the office at the top. Like they're walking the dog with the leash on. Like a reverend getting his preach on. Wrapped around my neck, it's like a high-tech way to sign a blank check. Waiting for a subject never ceases to amaze us. That all we left with is peanuts. Half of the time you defy, it's a sci-fi time when you fight for your right. So with all your might, we're breaking out of these chains because we're so out of here. No, nothing can hold us down. Stop locking us up or walking down the street and maybe smoking us bleak. It's just beyond belief. But the executive chiefs get away with the beef. It's time to stop repeating this broken motif. Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out.
You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no.
Get me out, get me out, get me out of here. Get me out, get me out.
You can't cage us like an animal. You can't.